Good evening, everyone. All right. So in the last lecture, we have seen like how with the help of a program, we can create the records inside the Salesforce object, right? And you see, gradually in the coming days, you would be going to know like why we are learning this technique. Why I'm asking you to create the records with the help of a program when we already have this user interface. And for example, like, if I wanted to create a position record, the simplest way to do this is like, you can straightforward, you can go to the position tab, make a click onto this new button, fill up this form, whatever the fields data you wanted to enter, just fill all of them and just hit the save button. So if there is such a feasible way, such a easiest way to create the records inside the object, why at all we are learning to create the records from programming, which seems to be a little more complicated and a little more lengthy sort of, right? But then you would be going to realize this technique, what we are looking to right now, what we are learning is a very important technique. I'll just let you know one example just to make, just to give you a more concrete idea about this, right? See, if I would ask you like, how many records you could create with user interface? If you are creating a record with this new button, all right, how many, I mean, when I'm saying how many, I'm actually referring to in one span of time, at one time, by filling up this form and hitting the save button, how many of records are being going to created? So the answer is only one, only one. But when we are going to see with a few of the requirements in coming days where we would be creating multiple records at a time. So whenever this is going to be your requirement that you either wanted to create or update or delete rather, or maybe undelete. So if you wanted to perform this all operation, which actually is called as DML operation, data manipulation language, DML operations, which actually includes insert, update, upsert, delete, and undelete. So if we wanted to perform any DML operation in bulk amount of records, for example, we wanted to insert 100 records, we wanted to update 1,000 records, we wanted to delete 10,000 records. So how exactly we are going to manage this with the help of a program? That is what we are trying to learn. So it might be possible that for now you would feel that this is something which is a little more complicated. But then, later on, as and when you grow and as and when you start learning more and more about this, you would yourself would going to realize that this is very important thing what we are learning right now. So in the last lecture, we have learned like how we can create the records inside an object of the Salesforce. And this was entirely is possible. Why? Because the Salesforce purely supports the concepts of ORM, object, relationship, and mapping. So now with this concept of ORM, it has been stated that every object in Salesforce is actually a class. And I have shown you one diagram for this. What you can do is like, you can go back to that session and you can revise this topic once again. I have told you that Salesforce entirely is built upon MVC architecture, model, view, and controller. That means every entity, when I say entity, it actually refers to the business objects, all of the standard, all of the custom objects. So every entity, every object rather, let me try to make it more simple. Every object in Salesforce, right? You can visualize them in with three different forms. The first form of is like, what you see, what you actually see. First form of it is what you actually see. The tab and this whole user interface. And this is something called as view. Inside MVC architecture, this is called as view. Then second is for every object, there is a table inside database.com. For every object, there is a database table inside database.com. That table is called as model. And then there is a business logic class. So we are talking when we are describing ORM, when we are talking about ORM, when we are discussing ORM, we are particularly focusing on that portion, that controller class only. So according to ORM, every object itself is a class. Account is a class, contact is a class. Your custom objects, what you have created, like hiring manager, position, candidates, all of them are classes. Where they are present inside metadata. So if I wanted to access these members of the classes, now there's one phenomenon of object-oriented. This is not just related to the Apex programming. It's a common phenomenon for every object-oriented programming. That if you have created a class, if there is a class which is having some of the variables, some of the methods inside that, which combinedly is called as member of the class. So if you wanted to access any member of a class, we first of all would require, to create the object of that class. That is very essential. So that way, in the last program, if you remember, what we did is we have inserted one record of account. With the help of programming, we have inserted one account record. We have inserted this into the account object. And how we have performed this? First of all, we have created an object of the account class. How? The name of the class, like account in this case, name of the object, which is user given, new, again name of the class, but make it a default constructor. And I have explained you that with the new and a default constructor, they are always used to allot the physical memory. Physical memory is actually allotted when you give new keyword along with the default constructor. It actually is going to reserve certain amount of memory in the heap. Inside force.com, inside runtime engine, it is going to reserve certain amount of memory. Now, with the help of this object, ACC, you are creating a record. So this whole thing, what you are seeing, like acc.name and everything, this is something called as record creation. But when you create a record, that doesn't mean that actually it has been, directly get stored to the database. No. So if we wanted to commit this, if we wanted to commit this to database, if we wanted to store this record, right now this is present inside a temporary memory called heap. And now if I wanted to store this into the database, actual table, inside database.com, you actually would require to give a DML statement. So we are going to learn that, but right now we would start using a DML, at least once, called insert. And it's pretty simple to understand. The word itself would represent what is the purpose of this insert. So I have inserted this whole object. And now after this DML, yes, definitely that record would be getting stored inside database. So you can check it out, like the ID is generated or not. If the ID is generated, if ID is not null. Not null means the record actually is being created, right? This is what we have seen in the last lecture. Now let me try to show you like how we can, and I have given you all these examples as well, right? I hope you guys have solved them. Now let me show you like how we can create the related records. Now what does it mean by related? All right, see, if I'll go with the account and let me try to open any of the records. Let's see with this Suresh Sharma. Now with this Suresh Sharma, you can see that I have one related contact and a related opportunity as well, right? Let me first of all see to one thing, whether we already have a process builder for this. Because if there is a process builder which actually is doing this, there's no meaning to create this with the program. So I think I am suspecting that we have a process builder for this. So I would be going to create and then workflow in the actions. Let me to see both of them, workflows and approval process. Do we have new lead, assign new task, new position, sync opportunity stage value? No. Let me try with the automations with account. Oh, we do have only one. Oh, this is approval process here. Let me see whether we already have certain automation for this in place. Create a related contact. Yes. See, and this one is in active state as well. So that is why, that is why whenever you would be going to create any account record, for that account automatically, let me try to show you, automatically one contact is going to be get created. So if I would name this as test process sync or something like that, or sync 2, let me try to save this. So see, for this, oh, it should be in active state. It should be in active. For this process builder, let me see the conditions. Account should be an active account. So what is, let me, and this is on created, I think. Only when the record is created. All right. So I would be creating one more record of account with the name sample test account record number 12, and I'll make it active. I'll make it active. This is the mandatory condition. So, and now if I would be saying it now, and now you can see for this account, one related contact and a related opportunity is also being created. I think we have a code over here. See, we have a code to create related opportunity and related case. And that is the reason whenever you would be creating an account, for that account, if the account is an active one, so for that account, automatically a one contact, related contact, sorry, and a related opportunity along with a related case is getting created. Now, first of all, let me disable this. So see, do you see this button deactive? I'm just making a click onto that. And now this process builder is deactivated. So now if I would try the same possibility, it's not going to work. So I would be creating a test record number 7, and I'll make it even, I would make it active. Let me now try to save this. See, the automation is disabled, and now this is just an individual account with no related contacts or opportunity or the cases. All right, so this is perfect. This is perfect. Now, with the help of program, let's see how we can create the related records. So what I'm going to try would be like, I would be creating one account, and with the help of this account, I would be creating a related contact. All right. Now, before we go with this, let me ask you one thing. What is the significance of this account ID? Inside the contact, even opportunity and cases as well, there is a field called as account ID. And as you can see, I have transferred, although I have deactivated this process builder, but I have transferred the actual account ID into this account ID field of contact. Can any one of you, let me give you this command. You can now unmute yourself, and can any one of you describe me what is the significance of transferring account ID into this contact field account ID? Yes. Yes. Or what would rather happen if I would forgot to transfer this account ID into this field? Yeah. Any one of you? Because I remember when I was taking this topic, I have explained you all this in detail because that was a very important step. So I remember that I have taken this very rigorously. Yes.
If we don't give that automation will not be done.
No, automation would going to work. That means it.
No, sir.
Can you describe me that? Yes, anyone? See, if you would not transfer this account ID of account into the account ID field of contact, for this account, contact is going to be get created. Remember, but it would not be a related contact. There would be no relationship between this account and the contact. It would be a separate contact. All right, it would be a separate contact. There would be no relationship between them. That's why it is necessary. You wanted to create related records, isn't it? We wanted to create a related account. For the account, we want to create a related contact, maybe related opportunity or the case. To make it related, you must transfer the proper account ID into the account ID field of, let's say, contact, let's say, opportunity, let's say, case. because everywhere this field is present. Let me try to show you. You go to any object. For example, if you go to the account, in the account, you're going to see this. Let me try to fire a query for this. You're going to see this. See, select ID, comma, from, let's say, contact. All right. Let's say contact. So I can show you, like, there's a field called as account ID. There's a field called as account ID. See, name. All right. See, this is what the account, and it's present in every place. You can see this from the opportunity as well. See, inside of opportunity, there is a field called as account ID. You can check it inside the case as well, right? You can check it inside the case as well. Inside the case as well, there is a field. Case doesn't have name. It's case number. See. So this account ID field is present inside all three of them. And the important field is, the most important part over here is, if you would skip this, if you would skip this, the contact is going to be get created, but it would not become a related one. That would become a separate contact, a separate opportunity, or maybe the separate case. So this step is essentially important. We have maintained this during the automation. And now in this program, which I'm going to create, I'm again going to focus this. I'm again going to transfer the account ID into the account ID field of contact. All right, let me show you how we can code this. So I would take you to the developer console. And in the developer console, we are doing this right now in the execute anonymous window. So Control E I have pressed from my keyboard, and let me clear out everything, whatever over. So yeah, or let it be. I'll just try to change the records. See, I'm the first step would always be to create the object. Now with this name, let me just try to change the names and everything. And let me try with all right. And the rating is hot. Let me go with, and let me copy the same into facts. Let's say industry is education. Annual revenue is 1 cents, 100,000, 10,000 lakh, 10 lakh. Ownership is public. Test active status is yes. And I would be inserting this record, So what is going to be happen after this insert? What is going to be happen after this insert? This record is getting inserted inside database. Now, if the record is getting inserted, the ID would also going to be get generated. So we are going to track this ID. If the ID is not null, that means the record is generated, and we would be printing that. All right. All right. Now let me extend the code from here. So in this portion, in this portion, create related, let's say, contact. Okay, create related contact. So I would be creating a related contact. That means I'm actually creating a contact record. See, I'm going to follow the same process. And this is the standard process. You actually would have to follow it every time. Whenever you wanted to create a record inside any object, there is no another way. This is the only way. All right. So I have created one account. For that, I first of all have created an object of account. Now I wanted to create the records inside contact. So obviously, very obviously, I would first of all would require to create the object of contact. Like you wanted to create the account record, you have created the object of account. In the same way, I would be creating the contacts object. How? Name of the class. What is the name of the class? Contact. Give any name. C1 equals to new contact, and make this as a default constructor. Now, what you did, you have created a object of contact class. And now with this con dot, I would be creating the record like first name equals to related contact. and then con dot, let's say last name. So last name, I would be taking account's name itself. We can do that. All right. Whatever the name of the account, whatever the name of the account, I'm just going to copy it in the contact's last name. And then con dot title equals to, you can give any title, that's the text field, software developer, and then it's a con dot, let's say the phone field. Let me copy it from account. I can take it from the account itself, and then con dot, let's say fax. Let me again take this value from the account. So acc dot fax. If you want, you can supply your own hard-coded value. No problem in that as well. And then con dot, let's say email. Let's say email equals to acc. Acc don't have email. In account, we don't have email unless you have created a custom field for that. By default, account don't have email. Remember this. Sometimes they ask this in the interview, all right? Sometimes they ask this in the interview. That's why account object does not have email by default. If you want, you can create a custom field. Contact dot, let's say mailing city. Do we have mailing city over here? We don't have. Oh, let me skip that in that case. All right. So see, I have created all these records. This is just a record. All right. And this is right now, it is present inside heap. Now to commit this into database, I obviously would going to require insert. I have used it, but that time I used to push this account record. Now I have, similar to this, I have one contact record. I also wanted to push this into database in the contact table. And that's why I'm using one more insert statement. But this time what I wanted to insert the con. Someone mic is on, please take care of that. Who is this? Bhagyashri, please mute yourself. All right. And after this, same way, you have verified that whether the account has been inserted or not. If account is inserted, the account ID would not equals to null. And then you have printed a message. Now, similar to this, same way, if con dot id, if it is not equals to null. So this signifies to me that the contact record was created. So system dot debug, the related contact, rather, the related contact is created with the ID equals to, now here you can print plus con dot id. All right. Let's see the output. So let me first of all go to the Salesforce and let me see whether if we have any such record called as Rahat Khan. Oh my God. I think my meeting is going to be ended in the 10 minutes. I don't know why. I have this license version. Maybe there is something. So if it is going to be ended, I'm going to announce whether or not I'm going to take it or not. Yeah. I have this license version. How come I'm promoted? 1 second. Oh, I have been promoted to basic, but why? I don't know. Yeah. Anyways. So I was taking you to the Salesforce. Now let me go with this. I don't see any record over here. Or else I can go like this as well. Oh, we don't have any records. All right. RS. So we don't have any record with this name. Now let me go to the Salesforce and let's execute this. Let's go to debug only, and you can see the account is created. And for that account, the contact is also created. Let me now go to the Salesforce, or let's go with the recent one. It's not being listed out. Let me go with the all accounts, and let me sort it first of all in the descending order. And now we can see the name of Rahat Khan. Okay. So this is account and okay. What happened? First of all, tell me, just evaluate this code and tell me whether the contact is created or not. Contact is created or not. Yes or no? Contact is created. Definitely, you can see the ID. The problem is I have not transferred account ID. That is the reason. So contact dot, this is the very important step I'm telling you. See, let me show you that as well. I just copy this. Contact is created, but that contact, it is not having any relationship to the account. See this. The contact is created, but this contact is not related to account. The account name is blank. So that is I was trying to tell you. Okay, if you would forgot this step, then contact although would be created, but it would not have any relationship with the account. And let me try to change this a little bit. So let me try to change this a little bit. Let's say Pallavi, and let me make this. All right, let's go with this one only. Let me try to execute illegal assignment from ID to account. Now it's okay. Field name was wrong. And now the first thing, account is created along with the contact as well. All right. So what is the name? Pallavi. All right. Let's go to the Salesforce and let's try to find it out. Do we have any such record with the name Pallavi? Yes, we have this. All right. And for this Pallavi, you can see the related contact as well. So this is what happens, if you would supply the contact account ID into the contact's account ID or not. So that's why it's essential. If you wanted to make it related, then you in the contacts account ID field, you actually have to supply the accounts ID. Otherwise, contact would be created, but there would not be any relationship between them. Right. So go with this program by today. Go with this program, and you must have some more assignments. Let me see through the notes. Write an account and related contact that I have taken. Write an hiring manager with the related position. Go with this. And go with all of them. Insert account, related contact, and related opportunity. Means one contact record, one opportunity record. Hiring manager, and for that position ke liye candidate be. So go with all of them. Go with all of them. Next lecture, I would be taking this bulk records. Yes. Any questions? Any questions? Yes. Anyone have any question?
Sir,
Hmm.
sir,
Hmm.
sir, I have created, sir, I have created account record, and sir, this is not executed. Why, sir?
I don't know. You have to show me the code. Unless I would see
So,
your code, how could I see, how could I debug that? I have to see what you have written.
sir, I think I am wrong. That's why I'm copying this text and paste here,
Don't
but not
copy
sir.
and paste. This is not going to work.
No, sir,
Don't.
I'm already done myself.
Mhm.
After that, I'm
No, no,
copying.
don't copy. Even I'm not sure whether these programs are all good or not. Right? I'm
Okay,
not
sir.
sure whether it have any syntactical mistake or what. So you will just follow what I'm actually teaching in the class. And if you are getting any error, what you can do is like, just take a screenshot of that. Don't take the photograph. Whenever you send me something, you guys, what you do, you take certain images, like, you just open your camera from mobile, you take the snap and you send me that. Don't do that. Yeah. It's very difficult for me to find out in that way. I have told you, go and download this software.
Yes, sir,
There's
right,
a
sir.
software. Yeah. There are so many of them with this. There are so many versions of them. Just download any one of them and try to take the screenshot. Whenever you are sending, just send a screenshot. Don't send me the images, yaar. मुझे नहीं होता है. No, I don't understand what you have sent to me.
Yes, sir.
Send me your complete code and along with the error what you are getting, and I'll going to see what is the problem with the code. All right, guys, I have 3 more minutes. You wanted to ask anything, please go ahead. Yes, any questions? Okay, then do your practice and let me know if you came across any error. Just take the screenshot and let me know that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.